Hey, it's Ari here. Hope you're doing well. If you're on this video right now, then you are looking for more information on a program called Warner-Field's FBA Roadmap, and you want to know, is this worth your time? Can you really make money with this exact strategy? And of course, is Amazon FBA worth starting in 2026 and beyond? So, real quick, if at any point in this video you want to check out my favorite way to get to $10,000 a month online as a complete beginner, then you can check out the free training that I've created down below, and you can learn more about what it is that I do. Let's talk about the FBA roadmap, and I'll talk about what to be aware of and what isn't, of course, in here. So this is a program created by this guy, Warner Fields, and this is his YouTube channel. So he has a pretty big following on YouTube, over 100,000 subscribers, over 1,000 videos, 1,600 videos that he's posted on here over the years. And so he's built a pretty big reputation on helping people start with Amazon FBA. So Amazon FBA is basically where you are just doing arbitrage and you're pretty much just selling on the platform. And so this program in particular teaches two ways of doing Amazon FBA. There is wholesale arbitrage and then there is retail arbitrage. And so the difference between the two is with wholesale arbitrage, that's generally going to cost you around $5,000 to start on average. And so you're going to need to, that's basically where you're going to be investing in lots of inventory, usually in bulk. And then you are, in that way, when you do that, you are going to be like saving a bit of money. Whereas if you just buy in like smaller amounts, then you would of course have to pay more. So there's that. And that is generally like the downside is it's around $5,000 to start that. However, the benefit is that it's very scalable. It's very easy to scale if you're using that method. And then with retail arbitrage, that is a lot more affordable to start. So with that, you will generally need around like $500. But the downside with that is it's not going to be as scalable compared to wholesale arbitrage. So that being said, the FBA roadmap right here, this is the home page. And when you click on access the roadmap, you could of course join the program through there. But this is pretty much what the site looks like. So you could read the description if you want. And it goes over his story with him and his friend, like how they would buy stuff from like Walmart and Target and then resell it on Amazon. And then of course he's done over 600K in a year as a full-time college student, which is pretty impressive. And then of course you have this video where he interviews someone who's done $10,000 his first month online. On his site, he has a lot of testimonials from people who have done very well with this. And so to give credit where credit's due, he does have a lot of really great positive reviews of people who have gone through his program. And even when I was doing a bit of research, I couldn't really find that much negative information about him. So that is one thing that is a good sign. And so usually with most programs like this, there are tons of negative reviews where people say, oh, this person scammed me out of thousands of dollars, but it doesn't appear like that's the case here. So yeah, like I mentioned, he has a lot of really great reviews, and he also has additional support where you got the private Discord you could join as a member, and you of course get this once you're in the program. And then he also has different software that you could use for listing products. And then, a bunch of other bonuses you get as well. So 2K profit in a day, book sourcing strategy, expert training, 7-figure sellers, and then of course, copy and paste templates. So you get a lot of stuff here. It's basically, this is the modules that are in here. So Amazon Basics, getting upgraded. Again, I don't really have to read this. You could just pause this and read if you want. But if you were to join the program, you just click on this button right here. And then the program itself, if you just buy the roadmap itself, it is just $497. That is a one-time payment. So it's actually not too much compared to other programs. So I've seen a lot of other Amazon FBA programs where it's $1,000 to get in at least, or some that are $2,000 at the very least. And so a lot of those, they'll start off with a 90-minute webinar. Then you join for $1,000 to $2,000, and then there's a bunch of upsells on the back end. So the other selling point that I have seen about this is that you do not need to run paid ads. So once you have products listed on your Amazon store, then Amazon, I believe they actually do the marketing for you. So you just pretty much just title everything, you put a description, and so that's the main thing that you would of course have to do. And then of course the program itself, like I mentioned, it's $497. There's two other optional upsells. So you can get the roadmap plus flips from the vault. So 10 example products we've sold. So that's for an extra $30 right here. And then you could also get that as well as hire a VA. and then that would be like an extra 100 bucks if you were to get that on top of this right here. So a lot of people, from what I know, they just go all in with this, and this is supposedly the best value. That being said, I want to talk about the Amazon FBA business model, and I'll give you my thoughts on that and whether I believe it's worth starting that. Amazon FBA has been around for quite a while, and it can be very profitable. The benefit is that once you have a store that's doing very well and you're doing lots of volume, then it can be one of the best ways to create like consistent income online. The downside of Amazon FBA and why you might not want to start that is, like I mentioned, it requires quite a bit of capital to start. So you're not going to join this for 500 bucks and then just be able to list products easily. You are going to need to, at the very least, I would say, have at least 5,000 bucks set aside, because even like I mentioned with the retail arbitrage where you could start for 500 bucks, most likely you're going to go through a bit of trial and error to begin with, and so you might list a bunch of products there that maybe they don't sell or you don't get in profit right away. Or I know in some cases with Amazon, or if you're like a new seller like on Amazon or eBay or any platform, if you like start with a new account and you start getting a bunch of sales, you might not be able to actually cash out right away. So you have to be like a established seller. You have to build up trust with the platform before you start actually getting the money back as you start getting sales. So that's one other thing to be aware of. And the only other thing aside from that is that on Amazon's platform, they tend to have very strict policies, and if you break any of their terms, then they can kick you off their platform at any point. And I have read horror stories of people like starting an Amazon FBA store and then their accounts getting shut down because they broke some rules. So that is one downside of this, is that you are relying on the Amazon platform. So they take care of everything, which is great. They take care of the shipping and fulfillment. You pretty much just order the inventory, you ship it out to Amazon, and then they take care of everything else for you. And then you can, of course, collect the profit. And so the only other thing that I will mention is that profit margins are fairly small. So in order to really get to a full-time income doing this, you would have to be doing lots of volume. And so the benefit to that is that with Amazon, people are always buying stuff anyway. So it's not like that would be like a challenge to get sales consistently, but that's just one other thing that I thought I would mention. That being said, that is my thoughts on the Amazon FBA business model. Warner Fields is definitely legitimate. He has a lot of really great information on his YouTube channel, and if you want to get into Amazon FBA, then this, of course, would be a great program to go through if you, of course, have the money for it. However, in my opinion, I think that a much better business model for beginners is promoting digital products online. And the benefit with selling digital products is that you don't need a massive startup cost to get started, and the profit margins are a lot higher. So you could promote products that can pay you a couple $100 per sale or $1,000 per sale, some that pay recurring income. And the benefit is you can just simply learn how to market online. And I teach how to do that with free traffic, so without having to spend money on ads. And then you can start to use that to promote really anything that you want. So if you want to learn more about what it is that I do, I have a free training that I've created for that below. You could check it out and you could see exactly what it is that I do. Otherwise, if you found this video helpful, drop a comment below, give us a thumbs up, and take care, all the best.